accomplished. So it's a big accomplishment. In my view, there's nothing similar in Kenya. And I would even venture to say that I don't think in Africa there's anything similar to that.
It's a first of its kind, eh?
It's a first of its kind, yeah. At the level at which it basically operates, I mean, our houses were sold initially around 300,000 Kenyan shillings. Today, with inflation, costs, etc., we're at 1.2 for the entry price, but still at 1.2 million. I don't think that in Kenya you've got many states where you can actually acquire a decent home.
So has it been a walk in the park? And any challenges?
It's been a difficult path, actually, and I was fortunate to join after the difficult period. Basically, acquiring the land was an extremely difficult exercise. There was a court case for a very long time when the prominent neighbors didn't want to have people from Kibera and Soweto moving into their neighborhoods. There's this whole stigma about, you know, the poor. This is going to be a big community of poor. Basically, you're going to build a modern slum in my backyard, etc. So we fought a lot of prejudice. We won the case in the end, and the land was acquired, and the community was born. But the credit goes to those who were there before me, Ingrid Monroe being one of them.
So would you describe Jamii Bora Makao as a social enterprise?
It is a social enterprise. The social mission of the company is very strong. All of our investors, most of our investors in Jamii Bora Makao are social investors. And our primary objective is to enable, as I said, the ordinary Kenyan to own a home they can afford. And that is the driver. The profitability is obviously a requirement, but it is not the main driver of our mission.
So take us through the Kisaju View Park estate, yeah? I know that's a project that is going to redefine the landscape of that particular area. Just start us maybe with the objectives.
Now, what is different about Kisaju compared to what we did before is that before we built a community essentially targeted at the very bottom of the pyramid, at the extremely low income. And that's why the houses were priced between 300,000 and 1.2 million. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is create a sustainable community. We're trying to build a community where economic activity would be thriving and people can live, raise their family, and work. In order to achieve that, you need to introduce a certain measure of mixed income levels. So we introduce now a middle income estate called Kisaju View Park, where the houses will be priced between 5.3 and 1.4 million at the bottom. We will have a sort of an intermediary around 2.4 million that will launch very soon now, and which allows the community to have an injection of earning power, basically, and create basically an ecosystem that can sustain itself for a long time. So that's what we're trying to do. The other element that's important is we're introducing something that's called cross-subsidization, where we will earn a lower margin on the low income, and that will be subsidized by a normal margin from the middle income. So basically, it will enable us to continue to keep the price of the low income units lower, maintain them low, so that we can still give opportunity to the low income population to earn a home, but at the same time we will be make it financially viable. So cross-subsidization is a very important element. Mixing income levels to create economic opportunity, make it sustainable, is the second element that's quite important.
So when I'm looking at the pricing, yeah, how much would a unit cost, from across? And then also, maybe what you can help us understand, how would you be targeting in this particular project?
At the bottom, it will be going for 1.4 million, and at the high end, 5.3 million.
Okay, so we're having two groups of people that you're targeting.
Yes.
Okay, so there's nothing in between, say, 2.4 unit?
There's a 2.4 million unit, which is a 5-bedroom unit.
So we have 5-bedroom unit?
5-bedroom. We have the 3-bedroom unit entry-level bungalow at 1.4, a 5-bedroom bungalow at 2.4, and townhouses at 5.3.
What are some of the features that these particular units have?
I mean, the units have been designed at the 1.4 million level. The units have been designed to be able to accommodate the desire of some of the homeowners to sublease part of the unit. So the floor plans have been designed so that they can cohabit with another family or the individual sharing the common amenities without making it too uncomfortable. So the architect's brief was to enable that, to enable people to sublease, just because at the bottom of the pyramid there's a lot of precarity. I mean, people can lose their job, etc. And when you burden them with a mortgage, they need to have a way to supplement their income should it become necessary. So that has been designed put in the design of the floor plans. That's one innovation. The second innovation is if you buy a 3-bedroom, we will basically build the foundation and put the slab for another 2-bedroom. So you could very easily, without too much difficulty, extend the 3-bedroom into a 5-bedroom. So we are basically allowing you to grow into a 5-bedroom. Enter at a 1.4 million price point and then grow into a 5-bedroom. So it's very modular, flexible, and we drew from all the experience we've gained in working at the bottom of the pyramid to basically incorporate in the design of these houses. One other concept that's quite interesting is we are using the concept of the Swahili design, which is basically the concept that the house revolves around a courtyard rather than facing the street. Because we know that African families, basically live within the courtyard, and as a security feature, there is only one entry point in the house and one exit point in the house. So all of those, which basically took the concept of Swahili houses and incorporated into the bungalow units.
Okay, so there are certain values also you'd want to sort of like encourage, yeah? As opposed to where people, it's all about myself and I really don't know what my neighbor is doing, so you want to enhance that social aspect of people being together, is it?
Yes, that's in the design of the neighborhoods themselves, which are designed in a way that to create conviviality. So the parking lot, the typical parking lot, is no longer used. We use basically a mix of greeneries and pavings, etc., to create an environment where the car is part of basically the neighborhood playground. It's a concept that has been experimented quite a bit in South America, and it allows basically the common areas of the neighborhood to become basically a play area for the kids, etc. So that's one aspect. The other aspect that's also important is we also want the family to be able to have privacy, so that you can basically enjoy the outdoors, relax outside without having to go into the street. So that's why we build basically the house around the central part, which is the place where the family meets and plays, and so it reinforces this concept of family life, basically.
Mm-hmm. But when we started off this conversation, there's something that you mentioned about how ordinary Kenyans would really desire to have a roof over their heads. I was just attending the Homes Expo yesterday, and a majority of the people who came out from that expo, I just noticed as a matter of observation, okay, people still have a lot of hope, but still not quite so inspired, because when you look at interest rates, when you look at financing, I mean, the prices of property, it's prohibitive for majority of the people that you're targeting, middle and low income. How do you plan to go about this?
Well, I think we've done it. I mean, we've managed to basically come out with a very well-designed house built in brick. We build in conventional materials, so we don't believe in creating the technology, what we call technology gizmos, to try to bring the price of the house down. So we managed to actually deliver a house at 1.4 million for a 3-bedroom extendable to a 4-bedroom. I'm sure that a lot of ordinary Kenyans would welcome that. And I don't think there are many opportunities out there in that price range. So I think we're trying to address that issue precisely, as you say. People want a home, but there are no houses available at the price level where they can afford it. So, but I think we've accomplished that with Kapute first, and Kisaju View Park is also going to basically maybe one step up, but within the same price range.
Mm-hmm. There's been talk about a bubble bust, because everywhere you turn around, I mean, this country looks like a construction site. True. Especially the whole city and its environs. What's your outlook of the real estate sector in this country?
Well, I look at the statistics. I think we need about 30,000 homes every year. at the bottom of the pyramid, meaning with a price point between $15,000 and less, which is about 1.5 million Kenyan shillings below. We're very comfortable. I think we could build 30,000 homes every month and still not make up with the gap that already exists. So this is a very comfortable market to be in. If you can find a business model that can be sustainable, which we think we have with the cross-subsidization, we are vertically integrated, so we basically do everything ourselves. We manage our supply chain ourselves, we construct ourselves, we involve our community in the construction. So we found a business model that works, and we think that at that segment of the market,